really? Really? And our son's in Miami. So I have to be calm on the phone with him, you know, like a loving mother. I have to be happy on the TV every morning live from New York.
In this Wendy Williams, Kevin Hunter, and Sharina Hudson debacle, who would possibly have the upper hand and have the power to shame the other? We don't know much about Kevin and his new partner, but Wendy Williams is surely onto them. Would she put an end to this hot mess, or is this just the start of something crazier? Well, to be honest, this has all become messy ever since the divorce. Problems on Wendy's side have piled up and life has been testing her since then. Kevin, on the other hand, together with Sharina, has been pressuring Wendy for money. Right now, many have been pointing out that karma is finally getting in the way of Kevin Hunter. Would we see more videos of him reiterating the fact that he was once part of Wendy Williams' show? Wendy has been keeping it low and silent even before the news broke out about Kevin having a child with his mistress. Apparently, she knew all about the cheating and even allowed Kevin to use her own money to buy Sharina a house and invest in her business. I mean, what? How shameless.
I mean, I had to, and all right, we were married for almost 22 years. We were together for 25 years. I don't regret the day of meeting him. I don't regret putting up with him for all 25 years. And that has nothing to do with him having this baby or him having this side girl for almost 15 years.
Okay, so Wendy finally had enough when they had a child because as per her, this is a different issue to deal with, so she filed for divorce. You know, we don't want to get into so much details about the legalities of their separation, but they agreed on certain things, including Wendy paying alimony to Kevin. Although it was well within his rights, the situation right now can somehow be on Wendy's side, even though not everything is working out for her yet, considering her mental and physical health at the moment. Rumor has it that Kevin and her other woman, Sharina, are broke and suffering financially because he was no longer receiving severance payments from Wendy. They're about to face foreclosure if this situation continues, and of course, Kevin is not happy knowing that he is completely dependent on this money to pay his bills and expenses. Who does that? Come on, relying on your ex's money to finance your new family is just so hilarious. Think about all the times that Kevin took to the internet about how he played a huge role in the success of Wendy's show, hence he said he deserved to get money from her. Basically, what he was saying is that Wendy would not be able to get to where she is if not for him. I mean, if he's that good and capable, then why is he not working right now to support his new family? Maybe he's not really that good, or is just so lazy? Whatever the reason, karma is finally here for the two of them. Some of you might argue that it is his right to receive money from her if that's in their agreement, but we will get into more details about that later. But Wendy surely does play with them. Maybe the revenge took a while, but she must have felt satisfied seeing them needing her help after all that she went through because of the two of them. Okay, let us not also forget that the house Kevin bought for Sharina was only a few miles away from the house that he lived in with Wendy. Many people are also saying that Wendy was not the nicest person either and that she had her own taste of karma with what happened to her. But nobody deserves the treatment that she got from her ex-husband after everything that she did and gave him.
It's weird doing hot topics and being a hot topic. It's some sort of weird story going around the internet regarding my husband. The headlines were everywhere, the tabloids, the newspapers, credible news sources were talking about this affair. Now look, I'm a straight shooter, pow pow. All you gotta do is Google him and you see the story. You can believe what you want, but
Wendy could have also dragged them even before they had a child, but she chose to stay silent and cried it out in the interviews. For sure, she was vocal about the disappointment and anger that she felt towards them, but she also did not drag them as hard as others expected. Maybe she knew that people like them will get what they deserve in the end, and she's probably right. If you're a Wendy's fan and want to see more updates about her, then make sure that you give this video a like and comment on the issues that you want us to dive into. A source even talked about why Kevin had stayed with Wendy for years, even though it is evident that he was also having a serious affair with Sharina. The source said that he and Sharina needed Wendy's money and that is why he stayed with her.
I had nobody again to talk to, but the times now were even deeper than they ever were in my life.
Yes, Wendy allowed that to happen, and many of us still do not understand why. They surely lived off of Wendy's money. Even after the divorce, they were still solely relying on her money, but now Wendy had enough. In one of her interviews, Wendy had talked about how you should not work with your husband. She even threw a shade at Kevin by saying that when she decided to separate with him, she made him divorced and unemployed all in one day.
I don't recommend that you work with your husband because I made him my manager, and then when I decided to divorce him, he had to be fired. In other words, I made him divorced and unemployed all in one day.
Go girl, tell him. Anyway, the divorce was just one thing, but that created a buzz and fans were quick to back Wendy up. Many of them had commented about the issue and talked about how they knew that Kevin was only using Wendy for money and called him a gold digger. Like what I've talked about earlier, Kevin and Sharina were able to still enjoy Wendy's money even after the divorce, as Kevin was receiving alimony pay from Wendy. It later on stopped though, and Kevin was outraged and demanded that Wendy continue to pay him as he is suffering different financial problems with regard to his bills that he has to pay. Even though the situation is making it hard for Kevin and Sharina, Wendy is also not in her best state. You may know by now that her show already got cancelled and her time slot was already given to a different host. This is most likely because of her long absence from the show due to her illness. She was also in and out of wellness facilities because she had to overcome her alcoholism. She had openly talked about this as well. Imagine what she went through, because even before the divorce, she was also dealing with Graves' disease. After that, she spiraled because of the stress and struggles from the divorce. She became reliant on alcohol to overcome her situation. Things just became worse because, as reports and some sources had it, it seems like people around her are not completely doing something to help her to get out of that state. I mean, going through something is one thing, but not having a solid support system while you're trying to deal with these events in your life could be a whole different level of frustration and stress. Okay, so you must already be wondering why Wendy stopped paying Kevin alimony. It's not because she purposely wanted them to suffer and go broke, but with her current state, she was not able to have total control of her money in her bank. Her bank, Wells Fargo, had denied her access to her own money.
Please let me have access to my money. This is not right. And again, this is not fair. Schiller and Wells Fargo have this guardianship petition about keeping me away from my money. This is not right. And you know this is not fair.
This is due to the fact that they believe she's not of sound mind to make a big financial decision. This resulted in Kevin not getting a single penny from Wendy. Additionally, when her show got cancelled, she was not getting any money from any source. Add to the fact that she was not really fit for work as she was still recovering. Ever since October of 2021, she was no longer receiving money from her show. Since Kevin does not want to stop receiving money from Wendy, he was quick to take the issue into court. Instead of finding another source of income, he was really keen on extorting money from her ex-wife, According to him, he had fallen behind on most of his bills, including car insurance, credit card payments, and other expenses. He added that he does not have health insurance, which made things harder for him because he needs a hip surgery. Before we proceed, I'd like to know if you're enjoying content like this one. If so, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to see more videos about your favorite celebrities and what is new about their lives. Going back to our topic, Wendy's attorney was quick to explain and answer the complaint. She stated that Wendy presently has no other television show being aired and paying her any income, let alone an equivalent salary. That being said, Wendy also had no capacity to pay Kevin anymore. What is making people mad is that, why does Kevin still push this case even further and show no signs of backing down, even though he knew that the show had been cancelled for quite a while now? Okay, before you say again that he can do that because Wendy is not following through with their agreement, then let me tell you about this detail that will completely have you on Wendy's side regarding the issue. Even though they agree that Kevin will be getting alimony pay, there are some limits to their negotiation, and Kevin seems to conveniently forget about it. This is a very important detail that he should not forget, because if he keeps on pushing this further, he might just be embarrassed and shamed. So if you still don't know, it is indicated in their agreement that the alimony pay can be changed or completely stopped if Wendy loses her source of income. In the document, it is stated that if for any reason plaintiff's contract with Talk WW is not renewed or is otherwise suspended, cancelled, or terminated, and plaintiff does not have any other television show being aired and paying her equivalent salary, defendant understands and agrees that all severance payments shall be subject to either termination or modification. So that is why Wendy's lawyer answered them that way. They're pointing out this part of the agreement, which Kevin willingly signed as well, so who is he blaming here? Why is he still squeezing Wendy for money that she can no longer give? Is it because he thinks that Wendy had planned this all along? No matter what, they both agreed on these terms and he cannot argue otherwise.
Woman, you with your husband for X amount of years, you know when they're cheating.
I went to the house, a beautiful house with a 3-car garage. I was cupping my eyes at every window. Oh, okay, not my house. But this is a good come up for a 32-year-old woman.
Or not, anyone who would listen about this issue would certainly be on Wendy's side. To think that Wendy is still in the process of recovering just shows how inconsiderate Kevin is. It just solidified the theories of some of the fans that Kevin was just waiting for this moment. Like us who have been following this catastrophe for quite a while now, many people on social media have been continuously calling out Kevin and Sharina, saying that he should get a job to support his new family. He doesn't even have the honor to use his own money for his mistress and child. Does he think and expect Wendy to pay and support them for the rest of their lives? Well, it looks like it, for sure. Even though Wendy is not in her best state right now, she's still enjoying what is happening to her ex-husband and mistress. Surely, karma always has its ways. Even though Wendy must be having a laugh, fans are hoping that she gets well soon and that she has the support that she needs because it would be too hard to deal with her situation alone. She has been open about her conditions and many are rooting for her recovery. Also, what could possibly happen once she already has access to her own money? Would this grant Kevin's demand to continue receiving alimony pay? We all have to watch out for that. One thing's for sure though, Wendy is humiliating Kevin and Sharina even more now that they almost look like they're begging for Wendy's money. Thanks for watching, don't forget to check out these videos.